Hello everybody, my name is Pooks and welcome back to the latest installment of the Pooks cast. Today I am joined with a wonderful guest co-host and good friend, Mamamonkey, the trust and safety team lead of Rec Room. I'm so glad you're on the show today. Thanks for being here.
Oh, it's great to be here. Thanks for inviting me.
So, as always, we're going to move in. We got some questions from my community over on Discord, so we're going to answer some of those questions and just roll with it and see how things go. So yeah, gonna be great. Here we go. Alright, to start us off, over on Discord, my good friend Energetic Ruth has asked, what exactly is your role and what do you do? So I'm assuming this question is directed towards Mamamonkey because I don't have a role in Rec Room, so I'm gonna throw this one over to you.
Sure. So actually, I do a ton of different stuff. I'm sort of the overall head of the support and moderation teams. That being said, there are leads for those teams that do way more than I do there. But I also do a lot of the long-term planning for the moderation systems. So when we're talking about, Gribbly was talking at RecCon about automatic voice moderation and stuff. And I'm pretty deeply involved in the planning for that and what it's going to look like in Rec Room and how we're going to use it. So I do that, and I'm also super involved in a lot of events. I basically did the management of RecCon this year, which was super fun. And yeah, I don't know what else I do. A ton of stuff. I do a ton of different things.
Yeah, multi-purpose, it seems like. Doing a bunch of stuff here and there. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Very cool. And for those of you...
the worst job description ever, but...
hey, it works. It covers all the bases. For those of you watching, RecCon was the most recent convention Rec Room held within its virtual space. It was a fun 3-day event, and this is the manager of it, so that was pretty cool. I got to participate in a couple of the events, so it was a ton of fun. Loved it as always, so yeah.
Yeah, it's always super exciting to see all the stuff the community brings to stuff like that. Mm-hmm. It's honestly one of the best parts of my job is to see all that creativity and the energy of the community.
Oh yeah, definitely. Great community within Rec Rooms. And playing for so long, seeing it grow, it's great. It's wonderful. Yeah. Alright, moving on. Alright. Our next question again comes in from Energetic Ruth. They ask, what has been the most shocking community room experience you have had? And this is something we can both answer. I'm gonna take this one first. And it wasn't particularly shocking in terms of wow factor, but I was shocked because it was early on in my time playing Rec Room back end of 2017 or beginning of 2018. I believe it was the first creator contest. First or second. And a user by the name of Moody Marlowe created a Holotar dancing room. And at the time, I knew little to nothing about Rec Room or the user-generated features it had, and didn't know what a Holotar was. And a couple of my friends were hanging out in this room. It was a lounge, and they were like, hey, come join us. It's pretty cool. So I join, and I walk up to the stage, and 8 people just pop out of nowhere doing this choreographed hip-hop dance, and I'm like, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen. I mean, it's a bit dated now when you look at the UGC tools in Rec Room, but that sticks out as me as whoa, that was wow factor back then, that this is so cool, and they were dancing and spinning around and jumping and...
I totally loved that room. I remember there was one moment with where there was 2 people and they had this little shy interplay with each other. Oh god, it was so good.
Oh, well, it was so creative for the time. Oh, it was fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. For me, I think mine is actually also from a contest. And it actually, this last contest, we had a couple rooms that just had such amazing, distinct art styles that, did not even look like Rec Room anymore. And, there's sort of opposite ends of the spectrum, but the fact that Five Nights at Freddy's sister location was made in Rec Room, and then like Otter Cleaver was also made in Rec Room. Like, just such a wide gap in art styles between them, and that's so exciting to see because I love when we get stuff that doesn't necessarily look like Rec Room.
Definitely.
I don't think the art director likes this much. He likes things to look like Rec Room, but I like when they don't. So
yeah, it's incredible. Some of the builders that play this game, like I struggled to build a square with the Maker Pen, so I know.
I got pretty good at making like tiki cocktails, but that's about all I can build. So
if you like tiki cocktails, our last contest room, we had some fun cocktail drinks by the poolside and Party at Sea.
Nice,
plug
nice.
for our room. Anyways, yeah. So very nice. Okay. All right. Our next question comes in from Velho over on Discord. They ask Mamamonkey, has your approach to Rec Room ever changed as the game grew into the game it is today?
Oh, that's such a good question. It absolutely has. Like, when I think back to when I first started at Rec Room, that was almost 4 years ago now, and like, it was super awesome, like small, fun community. But now it's so much bigger, and for a lot of people, there's like a lot more at stake, right? Because we want creators to get to the point where, like, hey, like, you can make enough money in Rec Room to pay for like your college tuition or whatever else. Like that, like, for me, that's like the ultimate sign of success. Like, the first kid we put through college with the money they made off of Rec Room is just like, my heart will burst. But like, as it gets to that point, like, you have to realize that there's a lot more at stake, and we have to be a lot more careful about certain things, right? So like we have to be more careful about like room permissions and like tracking stuff. So like, we don't want people, stealing things from other creators. And like, there's just a lot more thought that goes into a lot of the economic systems and the UGC systems. And one of the parts of my job is like, I'm the person who like yells at the dev teams and says like, people are going to troll that. People are going to troll that. Like, you need to put in safeguards or all those things. So yeah, like, definitely that has changed for me because I want to make sure that, like, we don't have problems where creators are having their stuff stolen and it's actually like losing them money. So yeah, my approach has changed in a big way.
Oh yeah, definitely that makes sense now. Yeah, because Rec Room, even being a player, I've definitely seen the change in direction as Rec Room's grown and the turn to user generation and then rewarding user generation. I will say, the money I've earned from Rec Room hasn't put me through college, but it did send me to Disney World.
Oh, that's super fun too! That's awesome! What's your favorite part of Disney World?
Oh, that's a loaded question. That's hard to pick. Oh, I love Disney. Oh,
Yeah, me too. I've actually never been to Disney World though. I'm a Disneyland girl. West Coast, Best Coast. maybe.
But it's Disney of any kind is fantastic. I mean, if I had to pick my favorite Disney park I've been to, Tokyo Disneyland blows all of them out of the water.
Ooh.
Oh yes.
One day I'll have to get there.
It's just amazing, mind blowing. Yeah, but yeah, I could talk about Disney for hours. So in the effort of time, we will chug along and get to another question. And stay tuned to the channel. Maybe there'll be a Mamamonkey Pooks Disney talk later. Who knows? Sequel.
Oh my god, so nerdy. Let's do it.
Yes. Coming soon. All right, moving on. All right, sticking with Velho, they ask another question that we'll both have to weigh in on. I'm excited to hear our answers for this one. Would you rather fight 100 duck-sized horses or one horse-sized duck? This is a professional podcast. We are asking the real important
The
questions
hard-hitting
here.
questions. Yeah. Do you want to go first? I'm
Sure,
picturing a
I'll tackle
horse-sized
this.
duck, and I'm
So, as someone who's not a fan of wildlife in general, I'm generally a run away from wildlife. Ducks and duck-sized ducks, I am potentially afraid of. So I don't think I'd want to touch a horse-sized duck. That's not a fun image. I mean, a duck-sized horse, like if we're talking like duck pond duck, that's still a substantial size. And horses, they got some power to them. That's a lot of them. 100's a big number. And in terms of raw strength, no,
yeah,
Billy.
I feel like horses aren't as aggressive as ducks are. Like,
Oh, that's
most of
true.
my experience with ducks has been like they're fighty.
Yeah,
fighty.
okay.
I don't.
Good information to weigh. Yeah. I'm thinking. Ooh, that's a tough one to put a definitive answer on. I think I'd choose the 100 duck-sized horses. Given the information.
I'm definitely leaning that way too. Cause like I've seen some pretty mean ducks. I mean, ducks are closer to Canadian geese than horses are, and Canadian geese are super mean.
Yeah.
So, but like 100 though, like I'm trying to picture like 100 tiny horses. I'm like, that's a lot.
Yeah. Now, when I first read the question, I pictured them like rubber duck size, which is like really tiny, which was an amusing image in my head.
Oh yeah, that's the yeah, that one's not even a question though. It's like you could just like punt them, like just boot them.
Oh, but if they were duck sized, oh, yeah, I think
I'm still going with the horses.
Yeah, so you heard it here first, folks. When pinned up against a duck-sized horse or 100, I've forgotten the question. The 100 horse-sized ducks. That's it. That's what we do. So when the when the duck, when the duck-sized horse is attacked,
invasion comes.
That's what I was trying to say. Thank you. Okay, we're ready. We gotta bring this back on the rails. We're just gonna move on. Alrighty, our next question comes in from Taco Man over on the Discords. They ask, what has been the most memorable moment you've had working with Rec Room? Well, I don't work with Rec Room, so I'll pick just my most memorable moment in general, but we'll start with M3 on this one.
Alright. So a lot of my stuff comes down from contests. But that's okay. So there was, I think it was the High Seas contest. And we had this like group that made like an aquarium, and they had all these like educational facts and stuff, and like they clearly put a ton of work and a ton of love into the room. So we ended up giving them Rising Star. I'm pretty sure it was this group. And like, so they had to wait the whole roomies, and they didn't even know for sure what was going on, right? Because I don't think they had made like top 5 or top 7, whatever it was that back in those days. So and like one of them, I think they were all like fairly young teens. One of them, like their mom was watching on Twitch in the background, and when we announced that they won Rising Star, like you could hear the kid's mom just like screaming and celebrating in the background. It was so heartwarming. Like it's definitely a moment that I will treasure forever. It's just like you know, the kids were all so excited, and like the mom was so proud, and like it was just I just
so
loved
heartwarming. Oh, wholesome moment. Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah, so my most memorable moment also comes from a contest, the Hidden Worlds contest, right? Yes, that's what it was called. So Pooks and company, my team, we were building a room, Woohoo Island Resort. yeah, from the Wii Sports Resort, and uh, things just weren't going as planned. We were having problems with ink conservation. Just things weren't going too well. So we kind of abandoned the project at the end. We all kind of agreed. It wasn't. We released the room, but we didn't have many hopes. But like 3 days before the deadline of the contest, me and one other person that I really found in a rec center were like, "Hey, let's make a treehouse." And I had no clue how to build, and I still don't know how to build. But I tried, and I took some tubes, and I did this thing, and I made a thing that looked like a tree, and I slapped some panels up and some stairs and the rock wall, and we made a tree house. And I was like, that's probably not going to get any attention, but I made it myself, and I'm proud of it. So we posted it, and the reception was amazing, and turns out we got top 5 in the Hidden Worlds, and then we got Rising Star on top of that, and we were so thrilled. I'd never built anything in my life, neither had the person I was working with, and just having the experience of just going to the roomies for the first time, and that whole experience, and then getting the Rising Star, and everyone cheering for us because we were new builders, and the camaraderie, and woo! So that was just a great moment. I have it all recorded, and it's just great.
Oh, that's awesome.
moment.
I love hearing
Yeah.
those.
Yeah. All right, our last question comes in from Cake. Over on Discord, Cake asks, is there a person who has impacted your experience within Rec Room? I definitively have an answer for this, and I believe M3 does as well. I'll let you start off our final question.
I kind of do. I'm going to cheat a little bit. I actually have 3 people.
Okay. That works, that's fine.
So, yeah. You know, three of the people that I absolutely adore, really, really good friends that I've made through Rec Room. So I Kill Pigeons and Drummer Geek definitely were some of my early friends. They brought me through so many cool experiences, like we did the Princess Bride in Rec Room, we did Back to the Rec Center, and like they were sort of early on, like in like my cocktail club, and like helped with like mini games and stuff. And they've just always been there, like, you know, for me to bounce ideas off of and to vent to. And yeah, just like they're my guys that I talk to, and I'm just like, I need that outside perspective. And like I've traveled to Drummer Geek's house, and like we've all hung out there. So yeah, those are like, you know, 2 lifelong friends, right? And the other is Forbim, who like I hang out with almost every day, and like he taught me to love Rec Royale. I did not like Rec Royale at first at all, but I play a lot of it now. And he sort of like got me through the pandemic, right? Because when we were in lockdown for a long time, like I still felt like I was like leaving my house every day and like being around people.
Yeah.
And that was really, really key for me surviving this whole thing with my mental health intact.
Yeah, building off that, I'm sure lots of people with VR, and especially now the advent of the Quest being so available, I'm sure VR helped a ton of people during lockdown.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. Well, if I had to pick
How about
a
you?
specific person, I've made tons of amazing friends. I know Meg, good friend and builder for Pooks and Company. She's been on the channel doing work, building contest rooms with me. Amazing friend, and I have tons of other friends. But if I had to pick the person that impacted my experience the most, it would be a user who I believe still goes by the name of Circuit Lord. He unfortunately doesn't play Rec Room anymore, but a lot of you watching this might know him from YouTube as Recbot. He did skits where he would pop in the rec center, pretend to be a robot, and do some funny things. Well, back in the middle of 2018, I met up with him, we became friends, and he is the person that got me started with the whole YouTube thing. So without him, I would have never gotten into recording videos in Rec Room. It was something that just never crossed my mind. It didn't seem like I'd enjoy it. But he set me down this path, and now here we are. We got a small little community going. I'm doing podcasts and retcon panels and now I'm volunteering moderation for Rec Room, so it's just, I would have never gotten as involved if I hadn't have met him, so he definitely shifted my course from just casually playing this game from time to time to what I'm doing now, so shout out to
That's
Circuit
awesome.
Link. He's currently a developer on the VR game Zenith, so go check that out. That's pretty cool too. But
Oh,
Rec Room's
nice.
good as well. Yeah. So yeah, that's definitely changed my path and what I was doing in Rec Room, so. Whew. Alrighty, I would like to thank all of you lovely people for watching this installment of the Pooks cast. I would like to extend the biggest thank you to Mamamonkey for coming out, taking time out of her very busy schedule to come here and be on the show. So glad you could make it.
Oh, it was so fun. I'm so glad I came.
And as always, if you guys would like to submit your own questions for future Pookscast guests to answer, you can do so by joining my Discord or commenting. Links are in the description to my Discord. As well, I'm going to be putting a link to Mamamonkey's Twitch channel that she occasionally streams on in the description as well, so go check out all of those fun links and follow me elsewhere and all that fun YouTube stuff. Like, comment, do all that fun stuff. Share it with people. Anyways, I'd like to thank all of you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye!